Hi everybody, it's Julie. Welcome back to my wonderful BC life. I'm back today with part one, or video one as the case may be, of my 2023 Christmas home decor tour. So let's go in and see what's different for 2023. We'll start the tour off right here where we show one of my snowman lights. Then over here, Dave put lights up through these bushes along here, which I will show lit up after a little bit here. And he put some ornaments up in here in the tree. I actually had more than that, but for some reason he thought I was going to finish them, and I thought he didn't want any more in there, so I didn't bother to do it. But anyway, there's another one of my snowman lights. And the other one. And then he's got lights going along the fence. And then over here we have our two reindeer. And like I say, I'll show this all lit up towards the end of the video. On this side, I've got my bicycle, which I have decorated with various branches, most of which were windfalls that I found here and there. I've got some Santas in there and some lights and a snowman. I think it looks nice. And here's our blow mold snowman that we got, I don't know how many years ago. We've had him for a long time. And on the other side of the garage we have our blow mold Santa with his ho ho ho. We've had him for a while too, but not as long as the snowman. This one actually, somebody threw it out at the curb. I guess it wasn't working, and they just chucked it out, and we snatched it and got it working. So anyway, we've had it ever since. And here's my urn with my little Be Merry sign. I think it's kind of seen better days. One of these days I'll have to replace it. But this year I just went out and found a lot of the items that are here. The only thing that was bought was the sign and the candy canes. The rest was all found here and there. And I'm pretty happy with it. I like decorating things like this. I think that was probably my calling, but I never bothered to pursue it at the time. Over here we have our wooden guy, who is now dressed up as Santa Claus. And he's got some lights hanging around him, like so. And in the window, there are some icicle lights, which you will see on afterwards. And here on the front door is my elf wreath that I made. It's got a couple of little elves on it, and some lollipops, and some bows, and some elf legs hanging down, and bigger bows up here, and a little elf hat over there, and some candy. Kind of interesting. And then down below that is my Home for the Holidays doormat that I got at Dollarama for $5. That was a fantastic deal. I was really happy to get that. Here we are in my office slash craft room slash exercise room. You name it, it gets done in here pretty much. And I have a little Santa hat that sits on the back of my chair. And then over there are the icicle lights that I mentioned a moment ago. Here on the door to my craft room is one of the gingerbread wreaths that I made. We'll try and get a better look at that. Gingerbread men and candy canes, gingerbread ribbon and other kinds of ribbon as well. There are bells in there if you can see them. Just a mixture of different things that are all candy cane related and gingerbread man related, including the gingerbread choo-choo trains, one on each side. And in the middle, the stars of the show, Mr. and Mrs. Gingerbread, and I got those at Dollar Tree a couple of years ago. They didn't have nearly as nice ones last year or this year as what these two were, but I did get them, like I say, a couple of years ago. And the only thing that I did to really change them actually was adding the little snowballs, if you want to call them that, one to her bow and the rest of the little green ones to his hat. So that's one of my gingerbread wreaths. Here in the front hallway I have my coat rack, which is actually a hat rack at the moment, where Mr. and Mrs. Santa and the elves all hang their hats. Here on the little antique desk, I have a red lace runner with 3 sparkly red candles, and they all have a ring of holly around them. And then up here, we've got a Santa hat hanging on my nice mirror. And then down over here, we have a little snowman pillow that Dave got me one year. Here in the front hallway, we have my Christmas tree wreath that I made. It's obviously in the theme of the little red truck with the Christmas tree in the back of it. And I added a nice big bow on there, and other little trucks and little bows, and some bells, and some Santa balls, and there's some Merry Christmas ribbon, which you can see has the truck with the tree as well. And down here, I got creative. I had not seen any of the other crafters do this in the videos that I had watched. I added a little pot down here, and I put decorations on it, and a bow, and a big snowflake, and stuff like that, and a little teddy bear with a Christmas present. And this wreath does have lights on it. I don't have them on at the moment, but I did put lights on the back of it there, so it does light up. So that's my attempt at that. And then down here, I have a little snowman hanging on the doorknob. Here on this cabinet, we've got another red lace runner and a bowl with some bells, different colored bells in there, and some pine cones and some balls. I believe I got that mixture at Michael's, if I recall correctly. I picked it up at the end of the season. Also here in the hallway, we have one of my snowman wreath that I made. This was the first one I did, and I bought the snowman wreath form over at Dollar Tree, and probably a lot of the supplies probably came from Dollar Tree, if not Dollarama, but I think a lot of them are from Dollar Tree. And here's what he looks like. Now, I've noticed that a lot of the people who make these snowman wreaths, they don't bother to fill in the center part. And don't get me wrong, it looks very nice. But for some reason, I wanted the center part filled in on mine, which of course made it a lot more work. I bet you it took me at least a few days to finish this from start to finish. So it was worth it for me, but like I say, it looks nice the other way too, but I just wanted a more completed looking snowman. So there's his top hat, which I decorated all nice. And you can see that I even put an actual bird's feather down here. I just happened to find it on the sidewalk and thought, I'm going to incorporate that into this. And you go down and you can see his scarf that I made. And he's got a big snowflake. And some gold bells for buttons. And over here, he's got branches for arms, and this one has a red cardinal perched on his branch or arm. And I used this rather interesting tool, I believe it was, for around the outside of this one, and it has the blue snowflakes on it. So I was quite pleased with how it came out. For my first attempt at doing a snowman, I was quite happy with it. Now here we've got my other snowman, or in this case, it's a snow woman. I did this one much more recently. I did it last year, and I did do some changes to it this year because I didn't think it looked enough like a girl, and I wanted it to look more like a girl. Scanning in on the face, I did add eyelashes to the girl, and I added rosy cheeks to the girl, but I still didn't think it looked enough like a girl at first. So this year I added a little bow on her Santa hat, and I added the hair. Now this hair was part of a Santa costume, and it was actually his beard, and I thought, I kind of want her to have hair, and can I make it out of that beard? And I thought, I don't know if I can, but I decided to give it a try, and sure enough, it worked out. I kind of snicker because I think it kind of reminds me of my hair when I let it go all curly. It sort of does in a way. So anyway, let me know what you think. Does it look good with the hair on it, or does that sort of distract from the fact that it's supposed to be a snowman? Because I could put it back the other way, but I just thought it sort of made it look more like a girl. Anyway, I also put on the little scarf, which came from Dollarama. It was actually a little dog scarf. And then I got the extra fuzzy gloves. And I also put a little candy cane there. And there's just white tulle, a sparkly white tulle around the outside of this one. And like I say, I thought that was kind of cool too. Dave always says I should be selling these things, but I just don't know. I don't know how you go about it. And I often think that people wouldn't want to pay what it took to make them, and you know, to reimburse you for your time. I don't think there's any way that they would, because it does take a while to make something like this. It really does. Now I'm out on the back deck, and here's another one of the urns that I did up. You can see that I added some candy canes, and there's a little snowman in there. And if you look, you can see that I've added a lot of different types of branches, including ferns and actual holly. We have a lot of holly growing here on Vancouver Island. And that's how that one turned out. I thought it turned out all right. On this side we have the other urn, very similar to the one you just saw, although this one has a Santa, and that's what that looks like. Here we are, lit up. It's got the lights going along here and up into this tree, and then along the fence line, and then we've got the reindeer over here, and over here. On the bike we've got some little lights that we got at Dollar Tree. Those are actually the neighbor's lights. Can't take credit for those. And there's our blow mold snowman. And our blow mold Santa lit up. And there's my urn all done up. And Santa with his lights on. And our icicle lights in the window. And then over here, the wreath on the door. And the beautiful mat. Just beautiful. So that was the first video in my series for this year of my 2023 Christmas Home Decor Tour. I will be doing tomorrow's video, which will be the bedrooms, the bathrooms, and the laundry room. So be sure to come back tomorrow and see what I've got in those rooms. Until then, bye-bye.
Bonus here, AJ.
Yeah.
You guys see a seal through the disc.